Hello everyone. I'm going to talk today about how to find the weighted mean of a data set and also how to find the variance and the standard deviation. So you'll notice that I have two columns of data here. In the X column, I just have the numbers 0 through 6, and then I've given the frequency of each of those values. The 0 occurs 0.045 times, 4.5% of the time, and so on. So you've got all that frequency information there. And by the way, you will find the weighted mean discussed on page 71 in your textbook. You'll find variance and standard deviation on page 83. So to find the weighted mean, the first thing we're going to do here is click in cell C2. And I have to, first of all, multiply the x value times the f of x value in each of these cells in column C. So I'm going to say this is equal to that value times this value. Okay, and notice I'm just clicking on those cells, and then I'll press the Enter key. All right, and we would expect that to be 0, of course, because 0 times 0.045 is equal to 0. Now I'm just going to copy that formula down the column instead of retyping it. So I'm going to grab that little dot in the lower right-hand corner. Notice the cursor changes to a plus sign, and I'm going to drag it down and copy it. All right, and you'll notice in each of these cells now the formula has changed. A3 times B3, A4 times B4, and so on. All right, and I did lose that border there, so I'm going to put it back on. And I'll click in cell C9 now. The weighted mean is going to be the summation of all of those values. So let's insert a formula. And this is a mathematics formula called sum. You can actually type this in if you'd rather. And what we want to sum, it knows already. Notice it populated this little, let me get this over here, make sure you can see it. It populated that function argument box with C2 times C8, or C2 through C8. So I'll just click OK. All right, and there it is. The weighted mean, mu, is 3.316. All right, the variation is a little bit different. The variation says we need to sum the x values minus the mean in each of these rows, and we need to square that. All right, so I'm going to say, I'll just type it in this time, equals this value right there in A2 minus this mean right down here, and I need these in parentheses, by the way, because I have to square it. So I'll make sure I have that enclosed in parentheses. And I can square by using the up caret symbol and followed by, whoops, that's a time sign, I don't want that. The up caret symbol, 2. So that says A2 minus C9 squared. And I'll press the Enter key. All right, now I'd like to copy this formula down, but the problem is I don't want that C9 to change. I want A2 to change to A3, A4, and so on, but I want C9 to stay exactly as it is. So I'm going to put a dollar sign right in the middle of that, $9, and what that's going to say to Excel is when this formula is copied, do not alter that reference. Keep that C9. And I'll click here to show you that it does remain. It's C9 in every one of those cells. Okay, and I lost my bottom border again. Okay, then the variance is the summation of those. So this time I'll just type it in, equals sum, left paren, drag to select, close it with the right paren, hit the Enter key. So there is the variance. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot something. It's that sum divided by the number of entries in our table, which is 7, divided by 7. That makes a slight difference there. So the variance is 4.099856. All right, the standard deviation is simply the square root of the variance. So I'm just going to insert a mathematics formula here, math and trig. And I'm going to find square root, SQRT. Let me get that over here again so you can see it. And I just want the square root of that value. So I'll click on it, click OK, and there is the standard deviation, 2.02481. Okay, Have fun with this. I hope you learned a little bit about Excel too.